Hi, welcome to Beginning Ukulele, and today we're going to introduce the D7 chord, and we're going to do the practice on page 20. So at this time you want to go ahead and get your music book and turn to page 20, and we're going to start in about a second. Go ahead and pause the tutorial and go bring your music book, and we'll get started in about a second. Okay, before we get started, let's check our tuning. G, C, E, A. Now you should sound pretty close to that. If not, please go and tune your ukulele with your tuner. Then come on back. So pause the tutorial, tune your ukulele, then come on back. Okay, so you have your music book. You turn to page 20. We're going to be introducing the D7 chord, and I'll be going over some stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and practice the exercise that's on page 20. Now you see on your music book, he's holding the D chord with his first finger covering all the strings down, and then his second finger is on the third fret. This has written over there. Same thing you see on the picture diagram in your book. Okay, so he's got all strings covered down with his first finger, and then the second finger comes on down like that. That's the pretty common way of you know, doing your D7 chord. Okay, now if that's a little hard, I know that sometimes you can put the second finger over the first finger to help push down the finger to press all the strings down, then with your third finger press down on that third fret first string. See if that's easier. Okay, I don't see this a lot, but I know students that do this. They hold the second fret down with their second finger and then use their third finger to hold down the first string on their third fret. Okay, I don't see that too much, but that's also another way you can do it. I will be using this form of a D7, so whichever is convenient for you, it's fine. Okay, let's go over some stuff. We're on page 20 in your music book. There's some things in the music we want to talk about. In the beginning, before we do our playing together, there's a big C in front of the first line. So right in front of that first line right there, there's a big C right there. That big C in the front of the line basically means 4/4 or common time. Okay, so there's 4 beats per measure. 1, see all the strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So you get the idea. This is the exact same line that you have there for your very first line. Now, this is proper review. You know this already. That squiggly line means the rest. Squiggly line means the rest. And these 2 lines with 2 dots, anytime you see 2 lines with 2 dots at the end of a phrase, it means to repeat. So when you play that line, it's telling you to repeat the line again. So you play twice. So anytime you see 2 lines and 2 dots, it's telling you to repeat that line again. So you're going to play this line, you see that sign there, the repeat sign, come back to the front, play it again. Okay? Now, the D7 chord. So I'm going to be using this version of playing the D7 chord. Okay? The D7 chord. Don't forget, you want to do your chord cog exercise before you start this exercise for the D7 chord, whichever version you're playing your D7 chord. You have this version, which I'm going to be doing, and it's written in your book. You have this version, I've seen people do that, and then some people do it like this. Okay, whichever is most comfortable for you. So find the one that's most comfortable for you, stick with that, and do your chord cog exercise as you should do it with any new chord that you are learning. and then we're going to start the exercise in about a second or two. Okay, so we're going to be doing the first line in the music book, very first line, exactly like that. First time we play it, we're not going to repeat, we're just going to get through it. Okay, make sure that we can do the chord change here from C to D7, back to G7, then to C. Now if you notice, I wrote the G7 up there, but it's smaller than I usually write it because you should already know it and you shouldn't have to rely on that, okay? But if you do, I would suggest you getting your chord chart and keeping it handy. You should have memorized your G7 by now, okay? But just to remind you that it's in the song. So let's try the first line together. We got a C, okay? So we can do that. We got a D7, okay? That's a new chord. Okay, make sure we can do a D7. Then we got a G7, which is a chord we should have memorized already. G7. Okay. And then C. Once again, the technique is leave that third finger on, slide to a C. From a G7, 2 fingers off, sliding the third finger to a C position. Okay, and don't forget, last note in the line is a rest, so that we don't play on that beat. Okay? Do not play on that beat. First time through, we're not repeating, we're just playing the first line, then we're going to stop. Okay? Next time we play, we're going to play with the repeat. Here we go. 4 count, starting with a C. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D7, 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, 1, 2, C, 2, 3, and rest. Good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to play that line, but this time we're going to do the repeat. So when we do it, we're going to play the line through, then we're going to come back to the front and play it again. Because the repeat sign is telling us to play it twice. Don't forget the rest. You got to keep the rest in there. No playing on that. And we're going to repeat, and they're going to rest. So every time we come to that, we do not play, because that's a rest sign. Here we go. 4 count with the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D7, 1, 2, 3. G7, 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3. Rest. Beginning 1, 2, 3, 4. D7, 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, and rest. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the second line. You see the second line, it has a different signature in the second line. It has 3, 4. Okay? 3, 4 times. That means there's 3 beats per measure. And you can see that in the second line. There's 3 beats of C, 3 beats of D7, 3 beats of G7, 3 beats of C, except on the last beat, once again, there's a rest and the repeat sign. You see the repeat sign? So this time, we are going to use the repeat on the very first trial of this exercise. Once again, we are going to repeat when we play this exercise for the 3, 4 time on the second line, okay? Here we go. We're on the second line. It's 3, 4 time, and yes, we are doing the repeat. Here we go. Follow along. 3 count. Oh, also, if you want to try this, what you can do this time around, when you make a C, use your middle finger, make the C, so that when you come to the D7, all you got to do is put down your first finger, and you're already in a D7. Okay. Only problem is when you go to a G, you got to move your whole hand to go to a G7. Okay. And then coming back from G7 to a C, once again, 2 fingers off. But either way, do what's comfortable for you. Before you do that though, pause the tutorial and maybe find a technique that's comfortable for you. In other words, if you want to do a C, go into a D7, then G, or from this to this to this, whatever is comfortable for you, do that before you start the exercise, and pause the tutorial and start when you're ready. Okay, so we're moving on. You've decided what you're going to do. Here we go. Second line, 3/4 time, and yes, we are doing the repeat. Here we go. 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. D7. 1, 2, 3. G7. 1, 2, 3. C. 1, 2, and rest. 1, 2, 3. D7. 1, 2, 3. G7. 1, 2, 3. C. 1, 2. Rest. Good. So give that a try. And here's a little challenge for you. You see that last line? That last line says 2/4. I'll just put it down here. That's 2/4. That means 2 beats per measure. And here's the challenge. You're going to do that by yourself. All it is you're strumming 2 beats per chord. C 2 beats, D7 2 beats, G7 2 beats, C 2 beats, and etc. And don't forget, you're going to rest on the last beat, and you got to repeat. Okay, you got to repeat because there's a repeat sign. Now, if need be, try those exercises that we did together. Try it again if you need to, but definitely expand yourself, challenge yourself, and do that last line, that 2/4 exercise, the very last line on page 20. And then once you try that a few times, all of the exercises again, and you're ready to move on, we shall see you at the next lesson.